something hit me this morning on the way to work, right?
Hit
Like,
you. Is that what you say when you rear end somebody? Somebody fucking hit, or something hit me. I don't know what it was. It could have been a person.
no, I call that the walking
Hit
case.
and run. He's
Anyways,
like, I call that a hit and run. I
no,
call
so
that
like I was
Tuesday.
driving to work, I was looking at something, they're talking about a church and all this and whatnot. And I was like, I wonder, right? Because when people go to church, they eat the cracker for the body of Christ. They drink the wine for the blood of Christ.
Uh-huh.
I was like, what if that was real? Would people still do it? And then my
Well,
mind just kept expanding from there. I was like, what if a church somewhere in like Rome or Italy or somewhere has Jesus locked up and they skin him and drain him and he regenerates, I mean, instantaneously. And they mail this,
instantaneously.
yeah, like instantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they mail his beef jerky skin and his blood to all the other churches around the world. Would people still eat the body of Christ and drink the blood of Christ?
So is the cracker meant to symbolize skin?
No, the crack is meant to symbolize the body, and the wine is the blood. But I'm saying
And
if
you
this is
started
real,
thinking about if it was real in Rome and they're just like slicing them up like beef jerky. He's like, hey, Fred, what are you here for too? He's like, oh, I'm just going to shave some off of your ribs today just to make sure you're okay. He's like, don't worry, it'll be fine in 3 minutes. Yep, told you.
I'm just going to church, get my Christ jerky in my blood.
Fred's like, they better have me some fucking bicep muscle today. Oh, yeah.
I mean, would people? Do you think people would still do it if that's how it was? If it was like literal as possible, not metaphorical, but literal, would people do it to feel that much closer to him?
If it was written in the book of God, I'm sure.
See, that's what I was wondering. If it's
I'm
written, it
I'm
says,
very
"Hey,
sure.
dine on, the body of my son and his blood." I think people would do it. I really
Lala,
think people would.
Lala, I gotta ask you a question. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Okay.
She does.
So
I am not. No, I'm not eating his skin and drinking his blood.
Here's the thing:
We
what
don't
if you
do that
didn't
there.
know?
We don't do
Growing
that
up,
there. We
No,
don't
no.
do that. My church did not do that.
I know yours didn't. Okay, but a lot of churches do. What
Yeah,
if growing
Catholic.
up, that's your
Catholic.
standard to you? You're handed this piece of meat
I'm
and you're
not
given
eating it.
a
I don't want it.
chalice. Eat, sip. So growing up as a kid, this is normalized to you. And then you get to adult and you learn this is the real skin of Christ and the real blood. At that
and if
point, you're
you
like, well, I've
don't,
been
if you
doing it for
don't,
like the last 16 years of my life.
yeah,
If I don't now, I'm going to hell.
if
Like
you don't continue to go to church, you'll start to notice you get withdrawals, and you're like, man, something's not
there's some
right
divine
here.
power
Yeah.
in his blood. You're like, I feel amazing. And then you
Every
skip
Sunday.
church one Sunday, you're like, oh God. Oh.
Something wrong with you.
This is the
I
wrong
know.
subject to get me started on, Brad, because
This
I don't believe in God.
is my thought on the way to work, though. That's what I was
Something wrong
thinking
with
about.
you. Deep within you.
I'm saying, do you think people would still do it, even if it was
it's
as
written.
literal as possible?
I think if it was written in the book,
No.
yes.
I mean,
I
I'm sure
think-
people would. There's a lot of people out there that are gross.
I don't. I asked you, Lala, because I don't. I've had many conversations with you, and you're not a fucking Bible thumper. You don't.
I'm
You
not.
don't push the hand of Christ. So,
I don't.
anyways, what I
She
mean by
pushes the
that
thumb of
is
pain
the thumb of pain.
up my ass.
No lube. Yeah, I get it.
Raw dog.
Painful. Yeah, raw dog. It's painful
In
sometimes.
there, man.
Try to spit on it before she shoves it in. You gotta
I
try.
try. She slaps me and pushes my face down.
That's why when she
Like,
slaps
"Hump
you,
ya,
you open
bitch."
your mouth. Yeah, you open your mouth first so
Ah.
she gets the. You see
I
that?
forgot to do the Scooby Doo laugh.
You're sick.
Damn it! I just remembered.
Nasty.
Do it.
We need to go make love again.
No. Not happening.
Like so. What fuck?
Okay. So, like I said, this was my thought, and I truly believe people would do it because it'd be normalized, right?
If it's
Now-
written in the book, that's my thought. Yeah.
Again, it's
Some,
my
not
brain.
all, but most. Yeah, I'm sure.
I think some would continue it. Some would be grossed out by it and not continue.
Well, yeah, they would be grossed out by it, but I mean, I think that if it's written in the book, that shall eat my skin to be pure or some shit like that, everybody's gonna be like, let me get a fucking, let
Can
me
I
get
get
a
double
piece of that.
dose?
Yeah. They're like, don't be stingy. Fuck.
You said it's teriyaki this week?
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean,
dude. That's
So-
fancy.
But then my brain kept going, right? And I was thinking about it. I was like, we're raised to believe that killing is wrong and that cannibalism is wrong. So even though it's just crackers and wine, it's symbolizing that act. So is this act in turn actually satanic? Or is this like, because in my head, drinking the blood of someone, even the representation of it, is satanic to me, right?
cannibalism
Ooh,
is cannibalism frowned upon, and
again,
in
if
the eyes
you're
of God.
raised with this, it's normalized and whatnot. Because I know there's
well,
still
that's
some
what I'm
tribes out
asking.
there.
Is cannibalism wrong in the eyes of God? Do you guys, Lala?
I don't know. I haven't read the Bible in a while. Do you know?
I don't know at all.
Let me ask.
Obviously,
Infamous
I would
Google.
think
I should
I
have asked
would
this
think
before. I
you
asked you.
could, but I would think that yes, that answer would be yes. So I mean, realistically, if you just ask yourself that question, if people are thinking, even if it is the cracker and wine, and they're symbolizing it as the body and blood of Christ, they're thinking cannibalism. So
I mean, I've never
Yeah.
remembered a story that.
there was cannibalism.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, but
No,
I've
I'm saying
never
I don't.
remembered a story from.
It says,
any
shall
of
not
this.
eat human flesh.
There you go.
So it's
Yeah.
in the Bible.
So
You're not supposed to eat human flesh. So even with that, I know it's not real. It's not really his body. It's not really
obviously,
his blood.
but these people still eat the cracker and drink the wine
As
that
a
symbolize the
representation.
body. Yes. So even
So-
if they didn't know the difference, yes, Brad, I don't think that any of it. It's I don't know.
Well, I'm not.
It depends
anybody
on
listening-
who you ask. If they're Christian, I believe they're all hypocrites, to be honest.
Whoa. Listen, anybody who's listening, we're not. Well, Lawless religious. Me and my brother
Yeah.
are not.
I'm
Uh,
not religious.
I
You're all a
think
bunch
a
of
lot of the
fucking
stories are the
hypocrites.
same, just tweaked and all that. We're not attacking religion, but this is my question. If
I'm not. I'm just. I don't care.
if
I don't care.
the cracker is representation of the body, and it says in the Bible, "Thou shalt not eat human flesh," are you not in turn theoretically practicing cannibalism, which would be symbolized as satanic?
Wrong.
So,
wrong in the eyes of God.
are you wrongfully practicing satanic ways and been misled this whole time?
So also, doesn't it say in the Bible that thou shalt not come together in thy name or something?
Yeah,
in whatever.
But churches
Um,
do that all the time.
Okay,
Mass gatherings. All the time.
by going to church.
I know that
Okay.
one because
Okay.
I asked the pastor before. I was like, "Why do you have churches?" He's like, "So we could come here, pray together, and speak to God." He's like, "But in your Bible that you showed me, yours, the one you showed me, it says, 'Do not gather in my name.'
Yeah.
Love me, do not worship me."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, that's just a loose term." He's like, "No, that's verbatim. I said it verbatim."
That's word for word right here.
Yeah. And he didn't like me and kicked me out.
I got
What the
kicked out
hell?
of church for the same thing.
Right.
The one on 112th in Parkland.
Yeah, I asked so many questions. You know how many churches I've been kicked out of? I really thought I was going to go to hell because
Don't
I've been
don't
kicked out of
get
like
me-
5 churches for asking
Okay.
questions.
get me wrong. I've gone to plenty of churches. I've given it a try multiple times, and it's not to say that that I 100% don't believe that there's a God. I cannot even come close to thinking about if there is or is not, because one, I have not seen or experienced for myself, and two, I will never put myself into that position because the churches that I've gone to have been the most judgeful people I've ever met in my life that I don't even want to associate myself with most of the time, because that's not me as a person.
Yeah.
I don't judge people that way.
I judge you, Stephen.
I know you do,
Church-
but
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I get judged all the time.
I don't
So-
judge you, God.
Everybody's like, long hair, long beard, small dick. What the fuck?
Well,
I'm
what other
always
combo do they
judged.
want? Short hair, long beard, medium dick? What the fuck?
I mean, come on, let's get out of here.
You want to
Can't
maximize
have
it?
it all.
Long hair, no beard, large dick.
Large,
How you maximize
large
it?
balls.
You got to pick which one.
You got large balls.
No, I have saggy balls, not large. There's different.
They're so large.
Heavy, not large.
So
they can knock
wouldn't-
somebody out with that.
I wouldn't say my balls are necessarily heavy, but they sag. I mean, they
Hey,
definitely sag.
That means if you got like heavy, saggy balls, if you
We'll
went
talk
to
about
go,
my balls
no,
later.
listen,
I don't want to
listen.
get off
If
stuff.
you can like
We are
teabag
off
somebody,
subject
can you knock
already.
somebody out?
If
knock
I
somebody-
teabag somebody, want to knock them out?
Yeah.
I mean,
Fuck
if I
you.
like drop it like it's hot, I'm sure I would. I'm sure I'd give them a black eye, break a nose, and all that. If they're
you
just
think
laying on the
that-
ground, I'm like, have you ever been teabagged by Superman? What do you mean? It looks like a meteorite coming at you 1,000 miles an hour. I still
Is that what you do? You jump on them balls first.
like they're laying on the ground. I jump off my couch like I'm in fucking WWE, naked as fuck. My balls land on their face,
Naked as
break their nose and shit. And then they wake up. What happened? You've been blessed by my balls.
You're
Bless
dumb.
my
You're dumb.
balls.
My nose feels broken. Oh, it is.
Oh, it's broken, definitely. Here, let me plug it with my cotton balls.
Here, let me flick my balls. You'll see why. Ping. Yeah. Happy.
Gross.
Gross. I'm talking about eating beef jerky of Christ.
That was you.
Oh,
that
that's
was your
me.
question.
Yeah, Brad, that was all
Nasty.
you. That was all you still.
God.
Yeah.
I
So-
don't go out my way to speak about religion because everybody has their own beliefs and I don't
Everybody,
like to push
well,
it,
everybody
so-
has their own opinion, and it's so hard to have a conversation with it. Like, I'm
I know,
sure
people get
everybody's gonna
offended
be-
if you ask a question and want to argue and all that. It's
They're going to be pissed off about what I'm saying in this podcast. I'm sure, but I mean,
somebody will. We're
to be
canceled.
honest with you, everybody needs to just think about their own selves, and whatever you believe in, you believe in. I believe in Mother Nature. I believe in what I can see and feel and touch and know. I know that I need oxygen. I know plants provide that, and I know that I'm living. I mean, I don't know what else I need to believe in.
You know what's funny?
Huh.
We grew up in the same household, but we don't have the same beliefs.
No,
Isn't
we
that
don't.
cool though?
It is cool because everybody. I mean, I don't even if I don't judge anybody for who they are. I don't care what you believe in or necessarily any of that Christ or that crap. You know, I don't care. As long as I can have a conversation with you, we're cool. You know,
Yeah.
that's all that matters. But if you're gonna force feed me your kind of shit, I'm not interested. I don't care. I really don't care because my time on this earth is just as valuable as yours or anybody else's, and I don't need to deal with any of that stuff. I got my own agenda, and it is not going to fucking. I show love to my family and loved ones, and that's
Yeah.
it. I don't need to show love anywhere else.
Yeah.
I love myself, so I go out and enjoy Mother Nature, what I can see and feel, and enjoy.
I got to. I love myself too. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Uh,
I more so believe in the Big Bang Theory.
that's been disproven. But
I mean, I guess.
they found 3 galaxies older than ours.
I'm
it's been
sure.
disproven. But that's science telling us all that. Now, my belief, I believe there's been multiple gods throughout history, right?
They're good. Yeah.
I love mythology because of how range of the stories are, the timelines and everything. Like stories could carry on, people could tweak them themselves. I think there was at some point false gods. I'm not gonna say there wasn't, but I think it's more of a. This is gonna be terrible, but the terminology a Freddy Krueger situation. As soon as somebody forgets and doesn't care anymore, he disappears. So I think that's what happens to real gods. People stop believing in them or trusting them, so they stop praising them, and they lose their power and they die off.
I
Or they
believe
go-
in Thor.
Dude,
I don't quit
Hold it.
believing in Thor. I mean, Odin's real. That's not even a joke. Loki, that's my dude.
I saw this thing on TikTok recently. It talks about how what if Loki is God and he locked away all the other gods, made them forget their memories and everything, so they forgot they have powers and all that. Stole because the Garden of Eden in their mythology is Edu. I might be saying that wrong, but it has a tree that has the apples that gives immortality, right? What
Mhm.
if he took that for himself so he could be the one and only God, and he presented man what we think is God now? All this to stop Ragnarok. I was like, dude, this storyline is batshit crazy, but absolutely possible given who would be doing all this. So that's insane. Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a great theory.
I mean, there's a lot of theories out there, and that's why I can't get behind the subject of one person being a god. You know, that's why I can't. There's too many theories out there. If I'm to believe there's a God, and from what I've heard and read and actually truly believe, if I believe that Jesus was a real person, one, he wasn't white, he wasn't black, he was Middle Eastern.
Well, and that wasn't even his name, so
What? Jesus?
Jesus. Yeah. It was changed by the Romans.
So, I mean, when you've got this many different religions and nobody can actually say that he's fucking Middle Eastern, he comes off as white, now he could be black, whatever the
I don't see
whatever.
everybody changes it for their own needs and all that.
And it's to me, it's just that's I don't care. I don't care to follow at that point. But you've had all of the like Indian gods that have multiple gods.
Oh yeah. Look at the pagan gods, the Romans, the Greeks.
I mean,
there's so many variants.
Yeah. That's why I just choose to believe in Mother Nature.
Yeah. I mean, even Egyptians had their own gods before Jesus came around. All of a sudden, it wasn't gods. It was, no, I'm the real one.
It was pharaohs.
No. We watched those motherfuckers perform shit. They used magic. They went to the skies. What do you mean they weren't real? No, they weren't real. I'm real.
No. I'm the real. They fake.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet the real Thor.
We broke our one rule.
What?
Never talk about religion.
Yeah, never talk about religion.
I just want to know if you guys would eat the beef jerky of Christ. That's all.
Dude, this is exactly why you don't get started on religion.
Well, it's not like we arguing about it. See,
no.
I like talking about it because we can explore each other's minds, get each other's thoughts, and hear each other's point of views. When I get somebody in front of me who's like, it's this way. I'm like, no, I hear you. That's how you were raised. That's what you believe. I understand that. That's why I'm asking about it, so I can understand a little bit better and maybe rearrange my opinion or thoughts or process and all that. But then, I want to share mine as well.
Let's switch this up then. Since we never do this, why don't we invite somebody to message us and you want to have a conversation on here? Why don't we try to see if we can't get somebody involved with that, and let's have a conversation with somebody that wants to try to convince us that they're.
I don't want anybody to try and convince me anything. And if you want to go that route, I want somebody from like different religions, not just one, like a Christian and a Mormon and the Catholic and someone who practices Hinduism and so on.
Well, let's open a hotline for people to start freaking talking to us about this. Let's see where it goes. There's a podcast for us right there.
All right. I'm going to create 1-800 number of Jesus's real name. So if you know it, you know it. Call it.
If you know it, you know it.
If you don't know it, you're not a real believer. So fuck you.
You're dumb.
Wasn't it avocado?
Yeah, Avanasha.
Avocado.
I'm about to sew your mouth shut.
Well, so I don't know if this is real or not, but I learned Jesus was changed by the Romans or in translation. That his real name is Asaway. Again, I don't know if it's real or not, but that's what I've been told.
I don't know if I've heard that one before.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Asaway. I might be saying that wrong too. I don't know. I just want a god who's a penguin with a crown and can do ice magic. Give me that and I'll be happy.
A penguin with a crown that can do. Wait a minute. You're going Mario style, aren't you?
Yeah, and?
Yeah. And he's like, why can't he just. What is Bowser? He's a turtle, right?
He's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Why has he got a shell?
Dinosaurs had shells.
He's in a turtle shell.
No, he's not in a turtle shell.
He's got a little tail. Look him up. Look it up.
It's not little.
He's got a little tail.
Listen. So either Beatboxing Rocks was stolen based off Bowser, or Bowser was based off Beatboxing Rocks. Okay? It can't be both.
It's clearly both.
So you're telling me an American bastard who created turtles and an evil-looking turtle wanted to compete with the guy who created Mario and his evil-looking turtle.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want the
know.
penguin with ice powers. That's all I want.
The penguin with ice powers.
I'm like, you want
Let's-
salmon today? Here you go, buddy. Make me an ice castle.
Make me an ice castle. And you're like, okay, I can worship you on that one. It's like, this guy's easy. All he ever wants is an ice castle. I can have all the fish I want if I just build him an ice castle.
He's like, wait. So all I have to do is build you a snowman today that will talk for at least an hour, you said? Yeah, an hour. And you'll bring me some trout? Yeah, rainbow trout.
He's like, ooh, I don't even got to go fishing. Like,
Done.
DoorDash?
Build it. He's like, yeah. What's he doing? He's talking. You didn't say you had to speak English. Damn it.
Fuck, I didn't know that. Well, about that, I mean, that was that was a religious episode, and I'm sorry that you guys had to sit through that. But hey, if you got any comments, leave some comments. If you don't got any comments, then
I
whatever.
already know the comments. God's gonna smite you. Like,
I mean,
I hope he
It
smites
is.
you.
you hope he smite. Fine. He'll come down here with his pitchfork. We'll see
Yeah.
whose fork is bigger.
His fork, for sure.
God
Brad eats
doesn't have
top
a
ramen.
pitchfork.
His trident.
No,
Stab
that's
you with it.
Poseidon.
still not. Yeah,
They're
that's
gonna,
still not
it's gonna
God.
stab you. Stab you with his fork.
Why would Poseidon stab him?
Hey, it's happening. Doesn't matter.
You know what? I would let Poseidon stab me. As long as I got a tenth of his power, I'll let it happen.
As long as you get a tenth of his power.
He stabs me and I stand up. I can now control water. Watch. I start to pee and I make it do tricks.
You know,
Like you see in
you know
Las
how funny it
Vegas.
would be if it
And
wasn't
it still
Poseidon?
doesn't make it into the fucking
still miss.
toilet
Damn it.
bowl.
What if he decided that his name wasn't Poseidon? His name was King Triton.
I'll be honest. I heard, what if you decided Wu-Tang wasn't something? It's
That's
like Wu-Tang.
ugly. You're ugly. So what
What?
if he
What does
decided his
Poseidon give
name
a fuck
wasn't
about
Poseidon?
Wu-Tang?
So what if he decided his name wasn't Poseidon? His name was Triton. King
Well,
Triton.
well, in different folklore, his name is Trident.
Yeah.
Depends
The
on
Little
which one
Mermaid.
you follow.
You're welcome.
Not
Yeah,
you.
what
I
she was
already
trying
have
to-
this knowledge.
What she was trying to say was,
We can't hear you. You went too high up.
Yeah.
she was trying to go Little Mermaid on you, Brad. It was doing a Little Mermaid where she's like singing high pitch on the rock,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well-
that's my belief. I think that if you eat the jerky and drink the blood, you're definitely going to heck.
You're satanic.
You're satanic. I mean, if you believe in that. The funny thing about that you started this is earlier Alex showed me a photo of it said when you go to church and they offer you way too much blood of Christ versus your cracker, and it's like this little teeny tiny cracker versus this like Jello cup full sized of wine. And it's like, enjoy.
That's terrible. You know what? I got one more question about religion thing and all that. Well, ish statement thing. So
Okay.
another thing I saw on TikTok is someone was like, what if the devil was actually good? I was like, all right, that doesn't make sense, right? Because we've, even me and you, Stephen, who didn't go to church, we've been told devil's evil, devil's evil. And they're like, think about it. God is the one who said, we're not allowed to have the apples. Devil said, no, he gave you free will. You're allowed to do what you want. God is the one who kicked us out of the Garden of Eden when we took the apple. Devil said, fine, you can come to my lands. I'll take care of you. And God is the one who will punish us and all these things if we don't do, submit to his will. And devil was like, listen, you don't have to submit to my will, but I'll still take you in.
Which
I was
is
like,
the
Interesting.
biggest one for being God is thou shalt not sin, correct?
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones. So I
And
mean, if you
look
think
at everything
about it
human
holistically-
does.
Okay, there you go, right there.
Humans sin on a constant basis. It's impossible for us not to.
Okay,
You can do your damnest in your life. You will sin at some point.
at some point, in
I'm
time,
doing
yeah.
it right now.
You said damn. I said damn.
I
Damn.
said, damn. Well,
Damn.
damn it.
You're
We're a
saying
bunch of beavers over here. Now,
Gosh dang it.
when you think your own joke's funny, but nobody else does. All right.
now you're not funny.
But like in the Bible, the word of God says the devil's evil and lies to us. That's his side of the story. right?
Mhm.
So what if devil has his own side of the story? Satan, who used to be an angel, the
Mhm.
fallen, and that he fell to give us these things that God would not. Because if he loved us as much as he said, why would he keep us from doing these things and having true free will like he said we had in all these? So what if he fell to show us that no, we can do these things? I don't know why he's telling you can't.
So the devil was sent to hell, which is on earth.
So
I'm
that's the
just
confusing
curious,
part
is
in the
it
Bible
on
too.
earth?
The Garden of Eden was said to be on earth, right?
Okay.
Everything past the garden was wasteland.
So we have
Complete
other
wasteland.
galaxies. Are there other planets that had life on them? I mean, is there
No, it says
is there
he
Satan
created
sent
the
those?
9 stars in the galaxy and all that, put us in the garden, put the filament over us, and everything past the garden was wasteland that we would
So-
never survive out there.
So long story short, therefore, there would only be one Satan throughout history, and he would be
He's here, present.
Earthbound. Okay.
Yeah, that he'd be on Earthbound.
Okay.
And that as soon as we took the apples that we were told not to and all that, because the devil
We
whispered
sinned.
lies to us, that was
Yeah.
our first sin.
Okay.
Casting us to the wastelands that we were told we would never survive in.
Okay.
Right. But obviously somebody had to show us how to survive, because technically Adam and Eve were infants. Yeah, they were grown adults, but they're sparked to life with no knowledge except for what little bit God told them.
Yeah.
Infants. So
Yeah.
somebody had to raise them and help them along and all that. Who the fuck was that?
The will of God, apparently.
No, if God abandoned us and pushed us to the wastelands, why would he help us?
Yeah. And thought that nobody would ever thrive.
Like we
I
were
mean,
a failed
I'm not-
experiment. He's like, well, fuck
So
you. Get out.
So what is your question here, Brad?
What if, okay, again, not attacking religion. What if the Bible is the lie?
Which Bible? I mean,
I
you
know
gotta
there's so many
go off
different
of-
variants. That's
Got to go off of which
That's
one's
another
been
thing, too.
printed
There's what?
during what
King
year.
James.
and-
There's
I mean, let's be real. How many Bibles are there? If there's one word of God, why is there so many different Bibles?
in different variants. Why are some words taken out, some words added?
Don't get me wrong. I understand that there's different religions and it's worded different and it's taken into
No, no.
context different. And
The Bible
get-
itself, you will find, as far as I know, 7 different versions of it. Each one, a passage is taken out depending which leader of the time was in. For instance, when I'm not remember his name, a French king was in, and the Bible reached them. There's something in there that says, "Be your own person." You were not governed by man; you were governed by God. He didn't like that. He's like, "No, I'm king. You're gonna do what I say." So he took that passage out, where it didn't say you're not governed by man. He got rid of that from the Bible,
Okay.
so that he could still govern his own people.
Okay.
So depending whose leadership and how they wanted to print and all that, it's been altered many times.
Yes. Which is again what I can't believe in. When I can look outside and see a tree that's been growing for 100 years, I can
Mhm.
believe in that. I can believe in Mother Nature, doing its thing and what I can see and things like that. I can believe in the miracles of me working hard to get the things I want in life. I can believe in those kind of things. I can't believe in things I can't see.
I did ask somebody who's very religious a question, and I stumped them completely. I was like, hear me out. Let's say the world ends. Okay. Everybody loses their memories. The only literature that survives this theoretical apocalypse is the Harry Potter series. Hear me out. They're like, okay. I was like, we pick it up, we learn how to read again, and we read these fantastic stories about how these people have these powers and how they're whisked away to learn all this stuff. Would we in turn believe that they were gods? She's like, so Harry Potter would be God? I was like, wouldn't he? Would he not be God if that's all we knew? She's like, that's absurd. I was like, is it? I was like,
But
think
is it
about it.
real?
I was like, if we had apocalypse, I would forgot memories, but eventually got back to the point where we could read, and we found the collection of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. We're like, with how magical and fantastic everything it sounds in the books, wouldn't we be like, this is what life used to be like. Oh my God, these people must have been mythical. There must have been gods. There must have been something like that. And she's like, well, yeah, I guess we would. I was like, boom. You prove nothing. I said, no. Boom.
He's like, we need to find the nearest train track and find 9.5.
9 3/4.
9 3/4 or whatever. We need to find that terminal.
Yeah, she was mad at me, but I feel like I proved the point.
Yeah, I mean, but what, throughout history, what book has everybody picked? I mean, I've seen many different documentaries.
You can't say that either, because there's stories older than the Bible that we still talk about today. Again, Achilles. Is older than the Bible. Achilles' story is so great that they made a constellation. It's not like he was already up there.
Yeah.
These stars equal Achilles. Made him into a constellation. They didn't pick up his body, fucking threw him up there, like, oh, he's stars now. No.
Yeah, he's a star now.
They decided these will
stars.
represent Achilles. Like,
I get it.
the imagination, the power
What
of
if
man
he
is so
was
much
thrown
stronger
up
than
there?
people believe. What?
What if he was thrown up there? You don't know.
What if
You weren't there.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was.
Like this.
Brad. Hulk.
Hulk's a
Hulk
fantastic
threw
story.
Achilles up to the freaking sky.
No, not Hulk. Hercules.
Oh, Hercules. Hercules. There you go. Hercules.
He wants Hulk to do it, not
I
Hercules.
know.
Yeah, I want Hulk
I want
to do
Stan Lee's version, not.
Come on. I mean, everybody's got to believe in their own thoughts, right?
So, scientists recently found a planet with city lights 1 light year away, right? So, what if they have no God? What if they have nothing there, no religion, nothing? And then one of us jackasses hop on a shuttle, go there, like, oh, you've been living life wrong this whole time. Here you go. What if that's how the cycle starts? What if they're so peaceful, everything's great over there, everybody gets along, someone's blue, someone's red, someone's white, like, oh yeah, we get along great. You have no conflict? That's crazy. Here's Jesus Christ.
Here's Jesus Christ. Conflict started.
Right? Because I've looked at a few like history things or whatnot. Like there are certain tribes in Africa who were peaceful and got along and helped each other. Then Christianity came from Africa, sorry. So, but once it was pushed again onto them, because Christianity was born in Africa, it was reached Europe, reformed, and when it reached back to Africa, for some reason, conflict started between the tribes, right?
Because it wasn't what they started.
Because it wasn't the word that they knew. So some of the tribes held on to the true word, where some of them adapted to the European word. So then they began to fight over whose is real.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was crazy, but interesting. It's like, so you tweaked a few things in the same book, and now you guys are fighting? That's insane.
So let me give you a reference. Brad, what's your favorite car?
Well, the first one that came to mind was 69 Chevelle.
69 Chevelle. So if I told you that 69 Chevelle is not the truest American muscle car that you could ever buy, and it's a piece of shit, are you going to hate and come back to me?
You started this thought. What did we come back to you?
It was hard for me to think of to explain. It's just it's tough when you're believing in one word, one thing, one
And then somebody contradicts it.
Yes, one being. And that's the other problem that I have with religion is when you believe so. Most people that believe in God or that are so deep into Christianity or something like that, in my opinion, are just one-sided, one way. It's like I want to hear. They only know and want to hear about them.
What lines up with their beliefs?
Yeah, what lines up with their beliefs, and if it doesn't line up with their beliefs, then it's not real. It's not whatever. But it could be real in your aspect of what you've believed in, what you've seen or experienced in life. It just may not be the walk of life that they've walked. Yeah. They may not have experienced. And that's where religion becomes really hard, is because you and I have lived together. We live together most of our lives, but we still don't walk the same walks in life.
No, but we still accept each other and hear each other out.
Exactly. Well, because we're brothers. Now, if we weren't brothers, yeah, you and I would probably be friends on the street, but like John and I wouldn't be. Chris and I wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? But we're brothers. We can have those kind of conversations and we can still love each other. Think about it realistically at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't think me and Chris would be
family-
friends.
Family divided, if you think about it, that's kind of what religion is too. I mean, if even people that are so religious in families dislike other people in their families who don't believe in their same beliefs, and that tears people apart. It tears families or it just tears everything
No, it
apart.
does.
It does.
And it's you can see it on so many different levels, not even just religion. Like if a family household, one supports Seahawks and you got the one that supports Chargers. They're
I mean,
bastards.
yes, exactly. Those fucking Chargers.
I mean, I was a Seahawk, but still,
Yeah, that's what I don't know why you use that. I was like, wait a minute, okay. And
because
then
it's
you
the same
said
concept.
Chargers,
Though.
I was like, ooh, that was an attack, but it wasn't though, because you said Seahawks.
But it's the same concept. Everybody
is.
has this belief, the majority, and then you have the minority that was like, well, no, okay, I see what you're saying, but this is my belief. This is what I see. This is what I follow, and all that. And all of a sudden, they're attacked.
Yeah.
So this whole conversation here, which I'm sure we've upset Lala a little bit.
Yeah,
She keeps
you upset me so much.
looking at me, threatening me.
I don't.
What
think-
if, Steven, and I
Well,
just came to realization, me and you are the most religious people in the world because we're not religious.
So we're atheists.
No, hear me out. Because again, we've gone over this. Do not praise my name. Do not gather to speak my name and all those things. Do not do this. Do not do that. We don't do that. So what if we're the most religious by not being religious?
But then that would mean that we also would do everything within our power not to sin.
No, like that's impossible. Impossible.
Is there things that you could cut out of your life from sinning, son?
You would
Or
have
Brad?
to cut off every holiday we know. Damn near.
Do you jerk off?
Yeah. On
Sin.
a regular.
Sin.
I know.
Do you cuss?
On a
Sin.
regular.
You could change those behaviors though. Those are things that you can change.
So I just start saying, what the duck?
Yeah, so if you
It's
want to
the
change
same-
that
no.
behavior,
See, that's something people have misconception about too. It's not just the act of cussing, it's the intent behind
it's
it.
a thought. Yeah.
So even if I say
you-
what the duck, it's still me
You
technically
know,
intending to cuss. You could be Ned
might as
Flanders
well
all
say
the
the
fuck you
word.
want. Yeah. I'm gonna be Ned Flanders. No, the intent's still there. So it's still a sin. And people don't realize that.
Well, we live in
mean-
sin. We're not married, so
I'm
anymore.
telling you,
I
the
divorced
world
you.
is sin. I don't care who
you
you
guys
are.
need to get
You
remarried.
sin at
You're not
don't
married
put thoughts
either.
in your head.
You live in sin.
I don't have kids, so technically you
You
can't.
do have kids. You
Not
got
with her.
three.
Not with her. I have 3
It doesn't
kids
matter
with my-
if you are
ex-wife.
living together and
No,
you're not
no.
married.
That's not
you
the
are
part that
living
makes it
in
sin.
sin.
You were not
Is
to
it?
lie
Is
with a
that
woman
really?
until you were wed.
Well, that's
You know what
fine. We don't have sex anyways.
No, that's what it
we just share a bed.
we just look at each other. Guess my fart.
For real though. Do you
Yeah,
guys
Lala
play that
started
game?
playing that with me recently. I don't like it.
The
I-
other day,
She doesn't say it. She just looks at me. Oh, you didn't guess. Blink.
you can't tell by my facial expressions I'm about to
That
fart,
could-
Brad.
What she said. Word for
She's
word.
she's like, Brad,
Well, she doesn't look like a
You didn't even
constipated
guess.
3-year-old. She just straight up looks at me like, no facial expression, no nothing. Oh, you
Okay,
didn't
no.
guess.
No, I tell him, I'm like, because I've done it every single time now. I'm like, let me lift up my butt real quick.
No. When you first started it, you did not. You
The whole
sat
time,
there.
No, I did.
No.
I'm like this.
Now she does because I don't know. Because the first couple times she just looked at me. Hey, I'm like, hey, oh, you didn't guess. Why don't you say guess my fart instead of hey? Me, I'm like, guess my fart. You're like,
so
I'm like,
just
yeah, you were close.
just yesterday to my son, I was like, looked at him dead in his eyes, and he coughed because he ate something. He coughed and he choked on something. So I looked at him in his eyes. So I started coughing too. I was like, cover your farts edition. And he was like, but that was so long after. I was like, oh, I get it. Like, Dad, you can't do that. And I was like, all right, cool. That's fine. I guess I just don't get this game. And I went to walk by him and I was like, and he was like, you did it backwards. I farted right next to him.
See, you do it wrong. You got to pretend to sneeze, but say something obscure when you do it. So I'm like, Blue's Clues. And then I fart.
I walked into my room last night and I had like a tank top that I just, whatever. It was cleaned. So I walked into the room and I dropped down the bed and I went, it made absolutely no noise. It just dropped on the bed. Alex looked at me. I was like, what? Or even better than that, before I started doing all that the other day, I farted and then I was like, what the fuck was that? And I ran out of my room and looked down the hallway. I was like, what the hell? Alex is like, what was that? And I was like, that's what I was wondering. And then I walked back in the room and I farted again, and she knew I farted that time. And I ran back out to go do it again. And she was like, gross, is that what you did?
How do we get onto farts?
If anybody's pissed off about what's going to happen, that's what I believe, or pissed off about what I've said here in this episode, I do apologize. But at the same time, no, I don't.
See, I don't, because I like debating.
Is.
Yeah, I like debating. I like learning. I like, sharing opinions and ideas. Now, if this is your belief, fine. That's what you. Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching the show. You unlucky bastards. Thanks for watching us, unlucky bastards. If you want to check out more episodes, we drop a new episode every week. Wednesdays. Every Friday, we go ahead and throw up our new quickie. So if you want to come check us out, go ahead. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, you name it. We're pretty much out there. Remember to look us up, Unlucky Bastards, and that's Bastard if you're not too sure with the name. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you again next week.